Hello, hello, everybody. So let's get started for our Monday meditation. So just make yourself comfortable, and I like to start with giving myself a nice stretch. So if you want to follow me and just get your arms moving, your head, your neck, rolling your shoulders. If you're listening to the recording and you've been sitting for a long time, you may want to stand up, shake your legs before sitting back down. And just make sure that you're feeling reasonably loose in your body before closing your eyes. And with your eyes closed, first, let's just focus on our bodies, just making ourselves aware, bringing our attention to our bodies and to the weight of our bodies where we are sitting. Just noticing the point of contact between our body and our seat. And then allowing our awareness to go down all the way into our feet. And there noticing as well the weight of our feet on the ground. If you want to, you can press your feet onto the ground so that you can notice the points of contact between your feet and the floor, and bringing more awareness into that area of your body. And then I'm going to invite us to set that intention to ground ourselves. So imagining or visualizing as if our energy is anchoring itself down into the energy of the earth. So that we are nicely connected with the earth. And once we've done that, let's move our attention and our focus all the way back from our feet into, this time, the area of our chest. And more specifically, the middle of our chest, the area of our heart. And here, let's connect with our hearts. To do that, some people like to put their hand over the heart, touching the heart. Or else you can tune in and either sense or hear your heart beating in your chest. Either feeling the sensations of your heartbeat, or maybe hearing the inner sounds of your heart beating. And then I'm going to invite us to imagine or visualize as if our breath is flowing in and out directly through our hearts. A little bit as if our hearts had a nose. And while you do that, just keep breathing as naturally as you can, like you normally do through your nose. But just imagine as if the breath was flowing in into your heart when you inhale, and was flowing out from your heart when you exhale. And And slowly but surely, as you keep visualizing this flow of your breath through the heart, just lengthen your in-breath and your out-breath a little bit more. Make each breath a little bit longer and a little bit deeper as you would normally breathe, as if you're slowing down everything, slowing down the rhythm of your breath, the rhythm of your heart, and in turn it will slow down your mind and slow down your body. So we're going to do that for a minute or two together in silence. And I'll let you know when we're ready for the next step. Slow deep breath, visualizing your breath flowing in and out through your heart. Okay, and when we are breathing in this slow deep breath, you may notice a sense of calm coming over you, over your mind and body. And we're going to take advantage of this calm, quiet state to reflect. And the first reflection for ourselves today is to remind ourselves of the direction that we want to have for our life, the direction we aim to be on for our future. So if you are very clear with the vision that you have for your life, remind yourself of it. And if that direction, that vision feels a little bit too far away or too abstract right now, maybe you can remind yourself of some goals that you have that are maybe a little bit closer in the future. So remind yourself of the direction that you're aiming towards right now. the direction that you want, the ideal, desired direction that you want to have. Okay, and once we've done that, now we are going to turn towards the recent past and contemplate how the week that has just finished, how that week unfolded for us. So just reminding ourselves of the recent events and noticing what did work well and also what didn't work as well as we wished for. So looking at different areas of your life, from your work to your relationships, your health, your self-care, your passions, your hobbies, how you spend your time outside of work, any area of life that is important to you. Just welcome the memories of last week and notice what worked well. And in the things that work well, think of what you want more of, what you want to maintain and nurture, anything that brought you joy, energized you, fed you in a way. And then also notice the things that didn't work as well as you wanted. And for those, think of them as what you'd rather change, what you'd rather let go of. Try not to think of them as bad or negative. No judgment. Just notice that they happened and see them as information, useful information, that something needs to change, something needs to shift. Just notice those things that you want less of. We'll do this for a few minutes. Contemplating what worked well and what didn't work so well. Reviewing what worked well the things you want to nurture, and also the things you'd like to change that didn't work as well as you want. Notice what energizes you versus what drains you. And maybe you are noticing some results, some outcomes that did or did not work for you last week. And for those, I'm going to also invite you to notice not just the outcome, but also the journey that takes you to that outcome. Sometimes things don't work. We don't get the results that we hoped, but the journey or the process brought us a lot of joy or got us to learn a lot. So sometimes the journey was positive. It's just that just this time the outcome didn't match our expectations. So just notice if that's something you've experienced. And vice versa, sometimes we get the result, we make things happen, but the journey was painful, didn't feel energizing, didn't feel in the flow. So maybe just notice that as well. And notice what you want to keep in your life, what you want more of those processes and journeys that are energizing. And of course, more of the outcomes that are also working. But let's not discard some elements just because the end result wasn't there. Maybe that gets you to learn something about yourself, about what's important, about how you like to do things. So allow yourself to reflect on that as well. And we're going to give ourselves one more minute to review last week. Okay, so let's gently prepare ourselves to wrap up this contemplation. And we're going to wrap it up by asking ourselves this one question. If a version of last week was to repeat itself over and over into the future, do you get a sense that it's bringing you closer to the future that you want for yourself? Do you get a sense that it's already drawing a trajectory that is pointing towards your goals or towards your vision for your life? If nothing changes and if last week keeps repeating itself, is it already aiming in the right direction to hit your goals or hit your vision for your life? Okay, and whatever the answer was, just welcome it as useful information. Try not to judge it, and certainly not beat yourself up. It is not the answer you wish, but just welcome it as objective, valuable insights that are gonna help you change the trajectory that you're on. And we're gonna start doing that right now. So for this part of our meditation, I'm gonna invite you to invite your imagination to come play with you. And now we're going to imagine, visualize the best possible version of the week that is starting today. So if this week, the week starting now, was to unfold in the best possible way possible. That's a lot of possible in the one sentence. If this week was going to happen in the best possible way, what would it look like? What would it sound like? What would it feel like? And here, invite your imagination. And I always suggest that you start by imagining yourself in your best possible ways of beings. If you are at your best, if you're in the flow, if you are making decisions with ease and you are taking action with enthusiasm, and you're being productive and making things happen, then what does your week look like? And you're not just making things happen in any random way. You're making things happen with a sense of ease and flow, and in ways that energize you, in a way where you feel creative, you have ideas. You get ideas, you're making decisions based on those ideas, and you're taking action in a sense of flow and motivation and excitement. So when that happens, How does your week look like and feels like and sounds like? And as you're noticing your imagination expanding, you know that other people also contribute to your reality. So here, let's imagine that the flow that you've created for yourself is so positive and so positively powerful that you're also positively impacting the people around you, so that they also are making decisions and taking actions that benefit you and everyone else involved. So when that happens, how does your week look like and sounds like and feels like when the flow that you've created has snowballed into creative, positive ripple effects that are coming your way through the actions of other people? So just notice and imagine that now even things that are not in your direct control are also working out for the best of your interest and everyone else's. Finding the win-wins, the gifts, just noticing how your flow of energizing actions has created a larger flow that is also bringing people together. And going one step further, now let's imagine all of these unexpected opportunities and synchronicities and possibilities that are also entering your life experience now, seemingly out of the blue, but really because they're a reaction to such a positive flow that you have created. So what other possibilities, opportunities, what doors might be opening as well that you're not necessarily expecting? What can be happening in this week, starting today? Think of happy surprises, generous gifts, connections, ideas Allow your imagination to go wild. What could possibly be happening this week that you wouldn't have expected in a million years? Could be some opportunities that you thought were not yet in your reach, but suddenly now they come knocking at your door. It could be all sorts of synchronicities, being at the right place at the right time. It could be creating magical connections with new people. Magical connection that can also open yet other doors. It could also be you opening doors for some other people and opening their horizons. Which opens, again, new possibilities for you and everyone else. So let's do this for another minute. Imagining, visualizing, again, what does your week look like, sounds like, feels like? What do you see happen? Who do you see? What do you hear? What do you feel? And to slowly wrap up this part of our contemplation, we are gonna set another intention as we're becoming aware that our imagination is only able to access a certain realm of possibilities right now, and that there are other more possibilities beyond the paradigm that our imagination is functioning at right now. So let's set an intention that we are absolutely open to welcome and receive in our life possibilities, opportunities, ideas, synchronicities that our imagination is not even able to imagine yet. And that when these possibilities show up in our life, we'll be able to recognize them for what they are, even if they look very different from what we're used to. And let's say to ourselves that yes, we'll be seeing them and we'll be welcoming them into our lives. So let's open our psyche to receive more and to receive beyond what we are yet able to imagine. So once you've said yes in your inner mind, said yes to that possibility, now I'm going to invite you to bring your awareness to how you are feeling right now. You've just imagined the best possible week possible. How does it feel? Remember, your mind doesn't really know the difference between real and imagined. So right now, your whole body thinks all of the things you've just imagined are real. So how does that feel? Maybe it's a familiar feeling that you can name, but maybe it's just sensations that you're experiencing in your body. So whether you can name those sensations or not, it's okay. And now we're going to make them stronger and bigger and more powerful. And to do that, I'm going to invite you to imagine again as if those sensations, those feelings are flowing in and out through your heart with each of your breaths. So imagining or visualizing or feeling that every time you inhale, these sensations are sort of flooding into yourself through your heart. And that every time you exhale, again, these sensations are flooding out from your heart in the space around you and in front of you. And with each cycle of breath, the sensations flowing into yourself and radiating out from yourself are both flowing deeper into yourself and further out into the space outside of yourself, around you, and in front of you. With each cycle of breath, the sensations get stronger and stronger, both as you radiate them out into the space and also inwards as you bring them back into yourself when you breathe in. So it's as if you're building a huge bubble of these sensations, and this bubble permeates all parts of you, all parts of your body inside of yourself, and all parts of you around you into the space, into your energy field, into the room that you're in. Every time you inhale, feel the sensations entering your heart with more power. You can feel them with more intensity. And every time you breathe out, imagine, visualize the flow of these sensations radiating out from your heart with more and more power. With each cycle of breath, the sensations are getting stronger and stronger. With each cycle of breath, you feel them inside yourself with more intensity, and you radiate them outside of yourself with more strength. With each cycle of breath, your heart gets stronger and stronger. Your heart gets full of these sensations, these feelings. And now we're going to ask our imagination again to help us visualize as if our hearts are now so packed, so charged up with these sensations that it is now shooting them out into the space in front of us with such intensity and strength and power that it is like a laser beam strength. And that laser beam is now carving out a portal right in front of you, into the space in front of you, just a few meters away. You just see, visualize, imagine as if your heart has sent out such powerful flow of these sensations that it has opened up a path in time and space right in front of you. You know that in front of you is this portal, this doorway, and this doorway opens up onto a path that is a new version of your reality, a path into a new timeline, a timeline that represents a week that is full of the opportunities and possibilities that you have created for yourself. So we are now going to imagine as if we're taking a few steps towards the portal, and we are now right at the doorstep, and we're about to step into this new timeline, this new version of our life. So I'm going to invite you now to take that step, enter the portal, and now you're on the other side. You're into this new version of reality, and you're just becoming aware that the portal behind you has now dissolved, and with it, your old timeline. The past version of you has also dissolved. Everything that's left is this new one ahead of you. This version of your reality that is aligned with your vision for your life, with your goals. So I'm going to invite you to enjoy being in this new reality and just taking some deep breath in and out, allowing yourself to connect with this new version of time, this new version of space. Taking some slow deep breath knowing that with each breath, you are connecting with all these new possibilities that you have imagined earlier. But now they're very much part of your reality. So with each breath, you might feel or imagine as if these possibilities penetrate your body. With each out breath, maybe you can imagine as if you're breathing out gratitude for these new possibilities being in your life. So on your in breath, just feel or imagine all of these new possibilities connecting with you on a cellular level. They're communicating with your own body. You are tuned in to their frequency, and breathing out gratitude for this new version of life that is now yours. And as you're making your way through this new timeline, we want to make sure that we are staying on this path. So in order to remind ourselves of the reality of this timeline, we're going to create a little anchor to remind ourselves whenever we need it, to remind ourselves of that new path that we're on. And to do that, it's very simple. I'm going to invite you to bring your thumb and index finger of your right hand together and gently press your two fingers, feeling the sensations of pressure between your fingers. And now I'm going to invite you to do the exact same with your left hand. Bringing the fingers of your left hand together, feeling that pressure. And now, playing with finding a point of perfect equilibrium between the pressure of the fingers of your right hand and the fingers of your left hand. Feeling the sensations between your fingers on your right hand and on your left hand, and finding a point of pressure that is identical in both hands. And as you do this, your mind is now fully focused on this point of equilibrium, finding this point of balance. And as it is fully focused, it is now fully focused on the present. It has no choice but to fully accept this moment as your new present. Your mind is letting go of any grip on the past. Your mind is fully present on this point of equilibrium and balance between your two hands, and is totally open and accepting of this new version of your life. And in this moment of full presence, Your mind is surrendered to accepting this new version of your reality. And now, at any moment during the week when you need to remind yourself of this path that you're on, this new timeline, this new reality, all you need to do is bring back your thumb and index fingers on both hands. And that will bring back your mind, your body, all in sync, back onto the path. This is now your anchor to keep yourself anchored in this new reality. So you can now let go of your anchor, knowing that you can use it at any time, anywhere, when you need it during the week, and it will bring yourself back onto this timeline that is now yours. And so now we are ready to bring ourselves back. And to do that, I'm going to invite you to rub your hands together until they're warm. Then place them at the top of your head. And now, gently but surely, we're going to remind ourselves of the boundaries of our own body by just touching gently our body from head to toe, starting with our heads, face and scalp, down our neck and shoulders and our arms, and then back onto the top of our shoulders to the front of our body and our torso and abdomen, and then touching the sides of our body, of our rib cage and the sides of our hips, touching our back as much as we can as well, all the way down to our hips again. And then from our hips, down our thighs and our knees and our lower legs, all the way down to our feet, if we can touch our feet. If you cannot, it's okay. If you cannot touch your feet, just press your feet into the ground again, like we've done at the start. And just connecting with the earth that way. Pressing your feet, anchoring yourself again. And when you feel ready, when you feel grounded again, in your own time, you can open your eyes. And thank you very much for joining, whether you're here live or you're listening to the recording. And I will say goodbye. Have a great week, and I'll see you next week for another intention activation. Bye.